You know, a few years ago, Linda and I spent 12 incredible days with a man named Ray Vanderlaan. He is an incredible rabbi and an incredible teacher. If you ever have an opportunity to go online, Google his name, listen to some of his teachings, I guarantee you'll be blessed out of your socks. But during those 12 days, we visited a lot of different places. But one of the places that stands out to me even today was we visited Ephesus. Now, today, it's a modern city. It's got lights, stop signs, shopping markets. It's a modern city. But if you go off into West Turkey, you come across the relics and the remains of the biblical city, Ephesus. It was an ancient seaport whose well-preserved ruins are in modern-day West Turkey, as I've just said. The city was once considered the most important Greek city and the most important trading center in the Mediterranean region. There's a library in that city. Back in that day, it was one of 3 large libraries in that region. It boasts to having over 12,000 scrolls. During its day, Ephesus was a sight to behold. But in the book of Acts, chapter 19, we read of a riot in the city. It had to do with the Greek temple of Artemis, known less precisely as the temple of Diana. A certain silversmith named Demetrius had shrines of Artemis that he made, and in the form of the god Diana, he made a lot of money, him and a lot of other people. But he listened and he heard and he saw the results of the preaching of Paul. And he heard Paul say these words, "Gods that are made by the hands of man are not really gods at all." And then he saw people believing Paul, and they quit buying his man-made gods. So Demetrius pulls together some of his friends, and they form a crowd. They tell them about Paul's messages and how he is destroying the image and discrediting the temple of the great goddess of Artemis. And the Bible says for 2 hours, a crowd got together and they began to shout, "Great is Artemis of the Ephesians." Soon the entire city was in an uproar. They could not find the Apostle Paul, so they find 2 of his traveling companions and they drag them into an open air theater. And then we read this verse in the chapter, which is verse 32. The assembly was in confusion. Some were shouting one thing and some another. And then we come across these 11 words. Most of the people did not even know why they were there. Now, you and I both, that's got to be laughable. Most of the people shouting for 2 hours and didn't even know what was going on. They got caught up in the words and the belief and the actions of someone else. They allowed someone else. If they were alive today, they would have allowed the news media to tell them what to think, how to think, and what to do during this pandemic. Not intending to simplify what's going on in the world today, may I ask the question, do you know why you're here? Do you know why you are here? Or are you caught up in the words, the belief, and the actions of others? Or you just wanting this to hurry up and be over? I mean, I'm wanting it to be over too. But I know why I'm here. You know, I have some relatives, cousins. We grew up together, and for whatever the reason, they've gone on into eternity, but I'm still here. And thank God, I know why I'm here. Do you know why you're still here? You see, it's not just a pandemic. It's not just about a pandemic. It's not just about losing my job or your job, or it's more than losing loved ones to this damnable virus. It's more than we need to get this behind us. It's more than I'm tired of being shut in. It's more than the money that we have lost. It's about who we are becoming, who am I, and who will I be when this season is over. For me, it's finding out what I can live without and who I must live for and with. The other day I walked into my closet and I just stood there looking around. I was looking at some clothes, realizing I can't even wear them. Linda and I were in Hong Kong in October. We both bought some clothes, nice clothes. And I looked in my closet thinking I can't even wear them. Oh, I could put them on. I could put on one of the suits that I bought and wear it out through the neighborhood and let all the neighbors think I've lost whatever few marbles that I might have. But I'm realizing, do I really need all these clothes? I thought of the friends who have lost family members and they're not able to celebrate their lives with friends. I'm reminded how important being there for friends during times like this really are. I see daily on television families who can't even visit loved ones who are in care facilities, and I just wonder if they are reminded of the times they were too busy to visit them before this pandemic. Then I'm reminded of the 4 values I have endeavored to live since becoming a follower of Christ at the age of 19. Many of you have heard me mention them before. They're carved on some wood in my backyard. It's a lasting memory of a young man who was caught up at one time of his life in drugs and ended up in one of our Teen Challenge centers. What a talented young man he is. And what he wrote on these woods and carved out was my 4 values: faith, my family, friends, and my future or legacy. You see, I'm here today to live out my faith, not the faith of someone else, not your faith, not my daddy's faith. I'm here today, right now, this moment, to live out my faith during this pandemic. I'm here today to be a guide for my family in this storm. I'm the patriarch of my clan, the anchor, if you please. I'm here to be a true friend to my friends and walk together with them through this season, whatever and however long this might be. And I'm here to live out my future or leave a legacy that will outlive me. The future I leave for my grandbabies. You see, I'm here for others and not for myself. My friends, ask yourself one question if you're there. What is it that my friends and family have needed me to be that I have not been to them? The answer might surprise you, and it might help you realize why you are here today living shelter in place. It would be a crying shame if when this season was over, you and I were the same individuals as we were when it started. Ancient Ephesus, it's only ruins. What lives on are the words of the Apostle Paul. Gods who are man-made are not gods at all. Which God have you been serving and maybe even presently following? My friends, I want to encourage you to make sure it's not a God made by the hands of man. God bless you.